Terraria is full of very rare items with low drop chances, but of all these items, how many of them are actually worth obtaining and using? Well, today we're going to be looking at some of the rarest items in Terraria in terms of drop chance and deciding whether or not they're worth using. If you enjoy content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel so that we can reach 30k, and let's get started. The Rod of Discord has a 0.2% chance to drop from Chaos Elementals. As I'm sure you guys know by now, the Rod of Discord is not a weapon, it's a utility item. The Rod of Discord teleports you to wherever you want to go as long as you can see it and you can use your cursor to reach it. Not only can this be good when traveling the world or exploring caves, but it's extremely useful in harder boss fights. If you use the Rod of Discord too often, then you are going to start taking damage from it, but as long as you don't use it once every 2 or 3 seconds, you should be good. I will say, however, that I think the Rod of Discord has become slightly overrated just because of how many people think it's the best item in the game. While it is good, it is very unnecessary if you're not playing modded Terraria, and I think a lot of players have grown to like it a little bit more than they should because they are so used to modded boss fights. Even though I think the item is slightly overrated though, I would still say that it's very good overall and more than worth it for its drop chance. Next up we have the Lizard Egg, which has a 0.1% chance to drop from flying snakes and lizards in the Jungle Temple. Considering the Jungle Temple is a very late game area and the enemies are beyond annoying, you would expect an item so rare to be very good. Unfortunately for you, the Lizard Egg only does one thing, which is summon the lizard pet, and while he is a very cool looking pet, he's still just a pet. Not worth it. The pirate staff has a very low drop chance for most pirate enemies during the pirate invasion, going up to a 6.67 chance from the Flying Dutchman. The pirate staff can be somewhat useful if you happen to get it really early into hard mode. Say a pirate invasion shows up out of nowhere, you get lucky and you get this item, it can be a really nice addition to your roster. If your main class isn't summoner, so all you want is passive damage without having to go out and get yourself a summoner weapon, then this can be pretty cool. Obviously, it wouldn't be fair to only judge it that way though, so it's important that we compare the pirate staff to other summoner weapons in early hard mode. This is unfortunately where the pirate staff is very bad. Compared to most hard mode minions, the pirate minion has very limited AI, range, and damage. And more importantly, it is significantly less powerful than weapons like the blade staff from the Queen Slime and the spider staff from Spider Dens. If you're actually doing a summoner playthrough, especially in a higher difficulty, there's no reason to take the chance of having such a low drop rate for a weapon that is literally worse than other weapons around the same stage of the game. The odds of a pirate invasion even showing up in your world by the time that the pirate staff is worth obtaining is very rare, and for that I would say that it's not worth it. The Bladed Glove is a pre-hard mode broadsword that has a 0.05 chance of being dropped by any weak enemy during Halloween. Already that makes it arguably the rarest item in the entire game, because not only is it only available during Halloween, but it has one of the lowest drop rates as well. Looking at the Bladed Glove itself, the obvious benefit of this weapon is that it has extremely good attack speed. Weapons like this are always extremely satisfying to kill enemies with because they're super fast and super fun. Unfortunately, the only thing really going for the Bladed Glove is that it's fast. It does 14 damage, which is really bad considering how rare it is, and it doesn't do that much knockback as well. On top of that, it has tremendously bad range, even compared to most other pre-hard mode melee weapons. It's not great for crowd control, it's not even great for fighting single enemies, and there is no point in even trying to use it against boss fights. For some strange reason, the Bladed Glove only receives 50% of any melee speed bonus compared to other melee weapons as well, which makes no sense since speed is the only thing going for this weapon. All in all, the Bladed Glove is not worth it. The Lucky Coin is another weapon that has a very low chance of being dropped by any enemy during the pirate invasion, and then a 6.67 chance of being dropped by the Flying Dutchman. What the Lucky Coin actually does is very simple. As long as you have the Lucky Coin equipped, there is a 1 in 5 chance that 1 to 10 extra coins will drop every time the player damages an enemy. This basically means that you're going to get significantly more money throughout your playthrough if you have the Lucky Coin equipped, which can be very useful if you obtain it early in the game. The Lucky Coin also barely increases your luck in the game by like 0.05%, but that's not very significant and it doesn't really matter. The Lucky Coin is not the best accessory in the entire game, but compared to a lot of other ones, it can actually be very useful. I can't count how many times I've been playing Terraria and not had enough money to buy things that I absolutely need. Especially in early hard mode when you're probably saving up for 2 platinum to get the Clantaminator, it can actually be very useful to get a lot of money on the side like this. Compared to a lot of other accessories, I would say the Lucky Coin is pretty good, and overall, it's worth it. The Coin Gun is yet another pirate invasion weapon that has a very low chance of being dropped by most enemies, and then a 2% chance of being dropped by the Flying Dutchman. A lot of people like to glaze the Coin Gun and say that it's actually an underrated weapon overall, but I feel like the Coin Gun is one of those weapons that people people like to say they use, but nobody actually uses. If you have hundreds of thousands of hours to farm money in this game and you can use that to get coin gun ammo, then you're perfectly fine. But if you're a normal player, then actually getting good damage by using gold or platinum coins is basically out of the picture. While a coin gun can do insane damage if you have the right ammo, no player is going to have enough money to make it work for even an entire boss fight, let alone a whole playthrough. It's a very cool novelty item, and using it once or twice is pretty interesting, so I get why people glaze the item, but I would still say that it is not worth it. The next item to talk about is the Terraria, and this might be the most rare item in the entire game. The only way to actually obtain the Terraria is to break an enchanted sword shrine, in which case you will have a 2% chance for it to drop the Terraria instead of the enchanted sword. I would be shocked if more than 13 people watching this video have even seen or obtained this item without going onto T-Dart Gaming. It is that rare. If you actually do get the Terraria though, it's pretty good. Considering that you're going to get this item early in the game if you ever find it, that means that its damage should be judged for the early game. Compared to a lot of early game melee weapons, it's definitely not the best option by far, but it is up there. It has a really good attack speed, and for its attack speed, it actually does pretty good damage. And on top of that, while the range might not be the best range in the entire world or anything close, it has a very wide arc, so any enemy in front of you will absolutely get hit by it. If you get this weapon early in the game, you might not be using it for every boss fight or every invasion, but you will still use it from time to time. Because of that, I would say that despite the rarity of the item, compared to the other things we've talked about in this video, it is still worth it overall. The last item to talk about today is the Slime Staff, which has a 0.01% chance of being dropped by slimes. Most people consider this the rarest item in the entire game by far, and I think that's pretty fair. I would still say the Terraria is harder to obtain overall, but in terms of pure drop chance, the Slime Staff is the rarest item in Terraria. Assuming you get the Slime Staff early in the game, it does okay damage. Not great, but not bad either. Unfortunately, the Slime Staff is still overshadowed in terms of damage by plenty of early pre-hard mode summoner weapons. If you're playing summoner, you're much better off going for something like the Finch Staff or the Vampire Frog Staff instead, because you'll get way more value out of it and it will be way easier. That doesn't mean it's a completely terrible weapon, but considering it's the rarest item in the entire game and is easily outclassed by other weapons at the same stage of the game, I would say the Slime Staff is definitely not worth it. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts on all of the rarest items in Terraria so far. If you have any opinions of your own, make sure to leave them in the comments because I love seeing what you guys think, and make sure to join the Discord server to talk about Terraria even more. Alright, bye bye.